strikes me as strange, and it is an observation, that the more where people live in an urban environment, the more intense the urban experience, okay, the more they're involved with that, and going on to how the more central you are in that community, okay, the more seriously you involve anxieties in your decisions, and the more you think it is wisdom. And so going from agriculture, where there actually isn't, there is no surprises, man. There's a strict set of rules about how to treat each other. There's obligations. People have obligations, and they're common sense. And there's courtesy and respect all the time. And this is how, so anxiety is minimised. There really isn't anything to have anxiety about out in the agricultural communities. And the further you get towards town, the more like you get into, you consider anxiety as wisdom, or it's more like important, until you get these people in the media that are living right in the centre of the urban experience, right? And so they're flat out promoting anxiety as wisdom, because they know that the reason that they have wealth is because they need poor people to stay wealthy. Okay, that's the truth, and that's why the media hate Donald Trump. It's because he's promoting. He's not only promoting, but he has articulated very well that the middle class needs. It wants cohesion. It wants its values respected, and that's what Donald Trump's saying. He's speaking for them, and he's acting on their behalf. He really is, and this is why the left hate it, because the left want to take advantage of the wealth that the middle class create. See, the middle class don't really care about being wealthy. Okay, we have dreams and aspirations, and there's things we would love to do, and that requires some money. Yeah, that's right, but not to have millions and millions of dollars. And so, from the majority's perspective, it should be seen that financialization is actually a mental illness. It's a psychosis. Okay, because you can't, as it's been spoken about around the traps in New Zealand, right? It's just ruining the country, right? It's ruining the ecology. It's ruining the natural environment. You've got this ship, bombarding the ocean floor with shock waves. Now, for those shock waves to be effective, they're 100 times more obvious travelling through the water than the ground, because the ground is a lot harder than the water. Okay, so I'm not very happy about that at all, eh? So yeah, I just thought I'd say though that gravitating from the country environment over to the central urban environment, where you get the media and celebrities and all that, where they promote the certain narrative about what is reality and what is important, right? Yeah, it's equally the predominance of anxiety follows that, where in the country there's controls and beliefs that mitigate anxiety out of the thinking, to where you go further and further into the urban environment, to where it becomes really important it becomes the main focus. You know, so that's something I've noticed about anxiety. It's another bit of evidence of the 8 laws, actually. And so that's the thing. And it's like, it's a funny thing that most people live in an urban environment, and when it comes to elections, most people, you know, the majority of votes come from the urban environment. Okay, and so this is formatting how politicians can speak to people. Okay, because there's this predominance of anxiety in the urban environment and the lack of in the country environment. So really, no politician has ever been speaking for the country people, except on the subject of money. Okay, of the business environment, right? You know, so I'd like to change that. To everything needs to be put back in step with nature. Okay, everything needs to be put back in step with nature, and it's enough for me that nature is there to support the human species, being that this entire situation of our existence and the planet being here and that is at the behest of consciousness. Okay, this money thing and business thing has had us operating well outside the better configuration in the relationship to the natural environment. Okay, decisions have been made that are not in the interests of the harmony that is possible, and so this has been spoken of but not articulated. Okay, and because people can't operate outside the jurisdiction of anxiety, so they can't speak specifically to it, but I can, and that is that we're really operating well outside of our the intended position. Okay, we are operating now in an entirely synthetic belief system. Okay, because of anxiety. Okay, and this is leading us down the path where it's overheating it's overheating the presence of a particular dynamics amongst the natural world. Okay, so basically human beings have been operating in an unnatural way. Okay, and just thought I'd make a video about that. Where in agriculture there's hardly any anxiety, to where in the middle of town there's everything is anxiety, really seriously anxiety, and the behaviours of people follow that. Okay, as you get closer to the centre of town, the level of anxiety is increased. As you get closer to the centre of town, crime increases, violence increases. Okay, it's an observation. Okay, so have a good day. I'll make another video shortly. Yeah, good evening.